Hey parents, this is Brent. I want to welcome you to our uh, 2014 spring baseball meeting for the Oklahoma Titans. This is our virtual parents meeting. It's a new format we're going to try out, just trying to get everyone together with their schedules and practices and basketball games and all that is seems to be pretty difficult. So we're going to try this out and be the same type of meeting as we would have if we were sitting face to face. However, you can just kind of view it at your convenience, and if you really like it, you can go back and watch it 3 or 4 times. Um, but in this meeting, we'll cover the same things that we would as if we were, sitting in the room together. We'll talk about our uniforms and our league and tournaments and practice and cost and those type of things, and then we'll have a little extra information there at the end. Um, so, first thing I want to point out to you is our new logo. It's something that we've come up with that maybe a little bit more mature for the boys as they're moving into kid pitch and kind of away from the T-ball and pitching machine. We did change one of our colors from the Columbia blue to the red, but everyone I've shared this logo with seems to like it and is pretty excited about it, so hopefully you are too. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about here in our meeting is our uniforms. After last season, I know most of the boys were getting to the point where they were getting, the uniforms were getting a little small and they were definitely getting stained and discolored. So it was definitely time to get some new jerseys and uniforms and things. So plus we have a new logo. So there on the right hand side, you can see the jerseys that we're going to go with this year. We're actually going to have the 3 different jerseys. They're going to be the dry fit material, very similar to what we had last year. They'll have the logo screen printed there in the front. Towards the center and at the top, and then it'll have our number on the back. It'll be screen printed as well. Now, one of the things that is definitely different, and they will definitely be watching rule-wise this year, is the sleeves that are underneath the jerseys. There's a rule in kid pitch that you cannot wear white sleeves if you are a pitcher. So in that case, I'm going to ask everyone to wear navy sleeves these first few weeks, and during the time that it's cold, just wear navy sleeves underneath the jerseys, and it can be any of the jerseys. We'll wear navy sleeves with all of them. They can be the compression type shirts or whatever is most comfortable for your son. That way we all match, and then anybody will be able to pitch at any certain point. So that'll be definitely one thing you might want to look at getting. Also, we're going to do pants a little bit different. I'm going to have everybody just get their own pants. Any brand is fine. We're going to do 1 pair of white and 1 pair of gray with the navy stripe. I know the example here I've given you is Nike, but they do not have to be Nike pants. They can be whatever you find. I've found them at Academy and Dick's Sporting Goods both have them in stock right now. So also, if you'd like to order things online and go with a different brand, you're welcome to do that. I thought this will help just because our boys' sizes are so somewhat different, and trying to find one that is consistent for everyone is sometimes difficult. And then also, during the season, if something happens to the pants, they get ripped or stained, and you want to get a new pair, you can just go out and get them on your own, and you don't have to worry about trying to get them in on time for the next game or practice or tournament or whatever we might have. Next thing I want to point out to you are the caps there in the bottom right hand corner. We're looking at going with 2 different caps this year. We're going to have obviously the new logo stitched on the front. Parents, if you want to order a cap, we're going to be the flex fit type of cap, and I'll have those to size at our first practice. Parents, like I was saying, if you want to order one, they'll just be $12, and you can order either one of the options that we have there. And then the last thing here on uniforms are helmets. I know most of the boys are getting to the point where they needed new helmets at the end of last year. Their heads were just growing and getting too big for the ones that we had ordered. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with a white helmet. Again, brand does not matter. There's a couple different brands or options at Dick's. They actually have them on sale right now. They have an Adidas brand. It was like $15, and then they had another Under Armour brand that was $21 or $22. Either one of those is fine. They also had a flat white helmet that's a Rawlings brand over at Academy for about the same price. You can also, they have some that have some navy kind of accents and stuff. The main helmet is white, and if you want to go with that, that's fine too. But they are a little bit more expensive. I'll be getting logo stickers to put on the front of all the helmets. So Anyway, I'll just have you guys get your own pants and helmets and undershirts, and then we'll put the logos, and then we'll get the jerseys that everybody will match. If you have any questions about that, feel free to let me know, and I'll help you find them, or you know, uh, size them, or whatever I can do for you. I know I sent out a text yesterday, which was Sunday, saying that I'm going to send out a coupon for 20% off at Dick's Sporting Goods. That's good for February the 1st, which is Saturday. So if you want to wait and get some of these things, then that's 20% off your entire purchase. So it's a pretty good deal, and it doesn't just have to be baseball stuff. If there's something else you're looking for, and it can be shoes, apparel, helmets, equipment, anything. Next thing we'll talk about is league. Last year we played in Edmond, and it was a good experience. And after the season was over, we met as coaches, and we actually met as parents, and talked about just doing tournaments this year. But after we met and decided we were going to do that, we started thinking that this is going to be the first year of Kid Pitch, and we wanted our boys to be able to have some experience, not just in tournaments, with pitching, and that way everybody can have an opportunity to pitch if they want to try it, and we'll just see where they're at. We use league more as like a practice, and then we'll be ready for tournaments. And then once we get into tournaments, obviously we'll be playing to be as competitive as possible. We're going to be playing league at PCO. We'll be playing up in the 10 and under league or division. One of the reasons that we chose PCO over Edmond is one thing that I had heard, and I've heard from multiple sources, is that Edmond is moving to a traveling league, which means they're going to play their games both in Edmond and in Stillwater. If you remember, there was a couple teams from Stillwater in our league, and so now they are going to be playing those Stillwater teams up in Stillwater. And as I was thinking about it, if we did double headers again and try to expect everyone to be in Stillwater, not only by game time, but if early if possible. If we have a 6 o'clock game, that's a lot to ask. And then, if we have a double header and we don't get done till 8 or 8:30, and then having to drive back home, I mean, you're looking at 9:30 or 10. If that was on a school night, I just didn't think that was reasonable. I definitely didn't want to ask you guys to commit to that. So we are going to play league at PCO, 10 and unders. Tournaments, we're going to be playing 9 and under tournaments. Now we're going to play 2 tournaments a month. On the tournament dates, when I send it out, you'll see that there's some alternate dates built in case a tournament gets rained out, or it gets canceled because it doesn't make, or whatever. We should have several options on places to play tournaments, so hopefully we can find one that makes on the weekends we are scheduled. The first tournament we're going to play in is going to be March the 7th, and I have the Plex listed as the place we're going to play. They also have one in Edmond that weekend, so we'll play in one of those 2 places for sure. Now, if you look at your calendar, that's just a little over a month away. So we're going to start practicing as soon as possible. Actually, our first practice I have scheduled is going to be for next Sunday, February 2nd, from 2 to 3:30 at the Riverbend Park, where we've always practiced in the past, at 63rd and Council. It's right across from Wiley Post Airport, if you're not familiar. We're going to be practicing. We'll be down at one of the backstops now. I mean, I know we were by the pavilion, where the restrooms and stuff were, but we really need a backstop now with pitching and hitting and so forth. So we're going to move down to one of those areas. So when you get there, if we're not in our old spot, we will be down at one of the backstops. Now, if for some reason the weather is not good on Sunday, I'll let you know, and we'll try to find a place we can go, at least get together and practice indoors somewhere. Now, with practice, we're going to start working with, obviously, pitchers and catchers, and I want to give everyone who wants the opportunity to pitch, I'm going to give them the opportunity to do so. I'm by no means a professional pitching coach, but I've been to, too many lessons to count at this point with my older son Chase, and so I've picked up on a few things that his coach has shared with him and worked with him on, so hopefully we can just kind of pass them on. And I'm not saying that's how everybody has to do it. Everybody, obviously, pitchers have their own style, and if you feel experienced and want to help your son, obviously I want you to do that as much as possible. So I don't want to offend anyone by trying to tell them how to pitch, but there are just a few little things that hopefully I can just pass on to them that they can use. The main thing, we don't want them to hurt their arm, and I want to make sure they have a good form and good motion, so that way they can be safe and not injure their arm, so they can't play not only this year but later on in the future. Now, the next thing we'll talk about is cost. That's what everybody probably wanted to talk about first. I've broke it down here, and each one of our, as far as uniforms, league fee, tournament fees, cages, and equipment, and so forth. Our tournament fees are a little bit more expensive this year, just because once we move to Kid Pitch, the entry fee goes up at least $20 to $25 a tournament. So anyway, I took our number of tournaments, divided it out by the number of players we're going to have, and it came to 65. Our uniforms are 3 jerseys and 2 caps are $50, which you're not going to find any cheaper, I promise. And then league fees at PCO are $30, and then we're going to do a $30 cage and equipment fee. And that way everybody's paying up front. We're not having to worry about bringing $5 when we go to the batting cages. We don't have to worry about it if everybody's going to be there. If not, then somebody was always having to be responsible for making up for those who had other obligations, and we still had to pay for the cages. So anyway, we're just going to pay it all up front and be able to use the cages or buy game balls or whatever we need to do for the season. So the cost of total is $175. $30 will be due at the first practice, and the balance will be due the first tournament. Now we're going to be ordering our jerseys and caps at the first practice, so I need to get everyone sized, and I actually have them scheduled to be not only stitched for the caps but also printed for the jerseys the following week, actually a week from this Thursday on February the 5th and 6th, in that range. Another thing, if you guys on the extras, if you guys want to order a hoodie with the new logo on it, it'll be printed basically the same as our jerseys, with the logo there in the center. You can order those in the youth sizes or adult sizes. That's not mandatory for the players to have, but it's an option, not only for them but for you as parents as well. We're going to order them, like I said, at the same time as the jerseys, and they're available in either white or navy. So when we're together next week with Sunday with practice, once I get your jersey sizes, if you want to order a hoodie, you can let me know then. Also, caps the same way. We talked about those earlier. If you want to order a cap, those are $12, and we'll order them again at the same time. And we'll actually have them, probably if everything goes well, we'll have them by the following practice on the 9th. So we'll get this stuff taken care of and get it knocked out and not have to worry about it coming up to our first game. Now, as far as communication goes throughout the season, I'll communicate via text message. I have a group built for our team. So if for some reason at this point, if you or your spouse, you're not currently receiving my text messages, please send me both the name and the number that needs to be added, and I will add it to the list. So if you didn't get the link to this meeting via text message, then that probably means I don't have you, and I need to get it. And get your number, contact information. My contact information's there down at the bottom here, 405-570-0176. If you have any questions about anything we've talked about in the meeting, if you have any problems with the payment or anything like that, feel free and let me know. One thing I didn't include in there was any type of fundraiser or banner. We've done those in the past. Sometimes we can make a little bit on that. Sometimes we kind of break even. But if anybody is interested in doing something like that, let me know. And especially if you're interested in heading that up, that'd be even better. So just let me know, and we'll get you signed up, or I'll be willing to listen to whatever ideas you might have as far as raising money for our team. With that said, I will be sending out a copy of the tournament schedule with the dates and initial locations. Again, those are subject to change. And then I will also send out a link to that 20% off coupon for Dick's Sporting Goods, which is good for next Saturday. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. If not, I look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. It's important that we be there so I can get everybody's hat sized and jersey sized and get their numbers down. So if you have any questions during this week, let me know. If not, I will see you guys on Sunday.